Welcome, guys. We're going to be streaming live on YouTube tonight. As soon as we get this little thing set up here, use all the right stuff. And here we go. It's downloading. Yay! Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We're streaming live from YouTube. Breaker, anybody out there? I know y'all ain't in the bed yet. Saturday night, right? And I know what night it is. Usually I'm off on that, but I didn't know what night it is tonight, but I'll get back with you later on that. So tonight we're going to talk about a couple of things. I want to start out talking about the new online course. I've decided to add a chapter to the online course. We're going to add a chapter to teach you guys how to structure the documents, how to structure the legal documents. So not only are you going to learn how to use all that stuff and the new strategies, the new non-conventional strategies, you're going to learn how to structure the documents yourself. And that resource, the PDF, the Banker Secret Manual, you will be able to use that to take information from to structure your documents with. And I'm hoping to have that finished at the end of the week. So the value that you're going to receive in my online course is only limited to the amount of time that you spend studying and or your goal, because we're going to teach you how to do it all. You're going to learn how to put the documents together. You're going to learn how to use the documents, the whole 9 yards. So one of the things I want to tell you guys too, when you're working on your when you're defending your own property, oh wait, I gotta like my own stuff because I know I'm going to do well. Bam, there you go. Got the first light. So when you guys are working on your own stuff, make it easy for yourself. Make it easy for yourself and stick with the jurisdiction challenge, because that's the only thing that you're going to need to work on. The only thing you're going to need to use in court is the jurisdiction challenge. That's all we use. It's not going to do you any good to go into court using anything other than challenging the court jurisdiction based off of the jurisdictional defects that we talked about in the last live stream. Oh, we got a couple of people out there. Oh, let me type something. Howdy. You guys let me know who's out there. Let yourself be seen, known, heard, something. So you want to stick with the jurisdiction issue if you're challenging your foreclosure, because if you go into court and you argue the banking side of things, they will love you. And then they'll throw you right out the door after they get done loving you. Okay, they'll do something else to you, but this could be a family show tonight, so I don't want to use any bad words. We'll just go with they'll love you. I think you know what I mean. So one of the things that people have to do in order to have any kind of chance of making them stand down is to address the misconduct. The misconduct is the reason why people are getting screwed in court. And a lot of times people don't even know that they're getting screwed, number one, or how to address it or what to do. And most people think if the judge is throwing you under the bus, well, that's it. No, that's not it. Okay, because the judge is not following the laws or the rules either. And at the end of the day, you'll find out it's not going to be about the servicer or who had the loan last or any of that. At the end of the day, it's going to be about you blocking them from throwing you out of court. So that's what it's going to be about at the end of the day, or holding the person that's blocking you from having your day in court, holding that person responsible and adding them to your lawsuit. Because we ain't playing. And our goal is whoever is blocking us from getting into court, that's who we want to add to the list. And that's one good reason to start out with only 3 people. You want to start out with only 3 people. And you have to remember, the more people you add, the more complicated things become. And they would like you to add all 15 people that they have on there, so that they can have it really complicated and make sure that you don't get anywhere. Now, the officers of the court are liable for their misconduct. Well, that is if you got the guts to push the issue. And you're also going to need the documents to help push the issue. I got them. All you need is the guts. courage to step up and be willing to do whatever it takes. So one of the other things I want to talk a little bit about too is the fact that people get so frustrated when people call me, and it's the first time they talk to me, they get really frustrated when I don't really want to take the time to hear all of the nuts and bolts about their case from starting back from 2015 and what happened. And most people feel like I need to know all of these things in order to come up with a plan. No, you guys are missing the boat here, okay? Our goal is not to go into court and defend what they said you did or didn't do. Okay, our goal is to drag them into court addressing the misconduct that we were talking about earlier. You know, that misconduct that's going to block you from having your day in court. Yeah, that misconduct. That's what we want to talk about in court. And when you get right down to it, if you go into court arguing all of the nuts and bolts, and if you go into court arguing the banking side of things, they're just going to laugh at you. Okay, you're not going to have much of a chance. You need to address the misconduct, and addressing the misconduct is the best chance you have to forcing them to stand down, forcing them to visualize the shared liability. All of those things can happen if you're addressing the misconduct. And what we like to do is make sure that they don't want you in court, because you're not going to be able to go to court and like win. Because to me, to win is having the judge give you everything. Okay, that ain't never going to happen. Okay, so that's not that. I have not seen that happen yet. So your goal should be to go into court and get your stuff on the record that you need for your appeal and your lawsuit. And when I say your lawsuit, you know, what I'm talking about is if you get in my online course, you'll find out that jurisdictional challenge with the affidavit is going to blow their case wide open. They're not going to be able to respond to it. And that you can use as evidence in your lawsuit in federal court. And you get to your lawsuit in federal court and you show them file stamp copies of your jurisdictional challenge, file stamp copies of their failure to respond to you. All of that you can use as evidence in your course to show that they're dirty. And remember, we're going to only talk about two things. If you are enrolled in an online course, when you go to court or when you talk to these attorneys, you're only going to be talking about two things. One, you're going to be talking about the fact that the statute that they're using to foreclose does not have the necessary elements to be considered a valid law. And two, you're going to be talking about the 6 things that are missing. The 6 things that are missing from the contract that's filed in court. Now, if you read that jurisdictional challenge, we're saying there are 6 things missing. And a couple of those things, just to give you an idea, one of them is you're claiming that the bank agreed with you to do the deal according to GAAP, which is the banking laws they're supposed to follow. Okay, you're saying that the bank agreed to do the deal according to GAAP. Well, the law says they're supposed to do the deal according to GAAP, and they did not. So there's no good answer for that. If they did the deal according to GAAP, if they say they did the deal according to GAAP, they're lying and they didn't. If they admit that they didn't do the deal according to GAAP, then they're going to jail because they violated the laws, the federal laws. So that's one of the other questions that we're asking that we're saying is missing from the original contract is the fact that the bank agreed to pay the borrower for the promissory note, because the promissory note was the electronic credits, which are the alleged loan, was created with the borrower's signature on the promissory note. All the bank did was process it through the Federal Reserve, and they received electronic credits. And actually, they received 9 times the amount in a demand deposit account. And they only wrote the check for one time and kept the rest, according to modern money mechanics. Yeah, we've done some homework on this. Oh, we got 5 people. Who all's here? You guys, Send me a message and let me know who's watching. I'm taking roll call. I need to see who's ditching practice. This coach might have to make somebody get on the bench. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna make somebody run. Okay, I won't make you do anything. You can tell me who's here. I got 5 people watching. Are you 5 people new people or old people? Okay, okay. Let me leave the old word alone. Or grandma, organo, grandma. Hi, organoderma. Wow, have a hard time saying your name there, Missy. How are you? This is your first time. Are you in foreclosure? Well, foreclosure is what we do here, foreclosure rescue. We help you learn how to smack the attorneys in the face. And I love my job. So, no, you're not in foreclosure? What brings you to our stream tonight? Property tax? Third-party debt collections? We do a few of those things too. So the other thing we're going to talk about too is I just posted a new video, and I'll leave a link to it in the comment section down below. And it is a video that has a Hipaa medical dispute letter. And this medical dispute letter is the letter that we have in the Hipaa dispute lawsuit package. And I took the letter out, and I have it on sale on a coronavirus sale price of $20. Yeah, you can't beat that. $20. And this letter, oh, she's trying to get out of the property tax. Okay, I got you. We'll talk about that in a little while. So this letter I put together, and it's undefeated. Okay. It's kind of like my Jayhawks. Okay, they may have lost once or twice, but the medical dispute letter is undefeated. And I separated it from the lawsuit because most people don't need to use it and the lawsuit. Now, you don't need the Hipaa lawsuit unless they've been garnishing your wages or stealing your money or something like that. The letter has been working just fine. So I separated it and I put the letter on its own little package for like $20. I sell price it down to $20. Now, this letter can be used to clean up your credit score. If you got medical debts over your medical debts that are being collected by third-party collectors, this is the letter that you need. And what you do is you take this letter, you learn it. And I always have people make a script, a small script that you can read in the phone or to the attorneys when you call them, so that you can make them think you really know what you're talking about. And the things that's in the letter is stuff that they don't want to talk about. And you are going to be requesting all of the stuff that you need to take them to trial, to court. And they know that that they're doing illegal stuff. And if you read on the internet, they'll say, oh yeah, you have to pay and they can collect, no. Okay. When they do the charge off and claim it on their taxes and on their insurance, that's it. There's no place left on their books to put any additional income generated from that. Yeah, so you see what I'm saying here. So stuff that you read on the internet is a lot of that stuff's been put on there by the same attorneys that's lying to you, to your face. So keep that in mind. So when you contact them, you want to let your attorneys know that you're going to be adding their attorneys to your lawsuit as a number one defendant, the law firm as a second defendant, and the bar association, and if the state bar association. And if they don't you get the lead out and do whatever it is you're asking, take care of your credit score, or if you're asking to be paid back your legal fees, or if you're suing them for money because they've been taking money out of your account, then you can use any of that in the letter to let them know what you're doing. Most of these attorneys doing third-party debt collections are not trying to face this. The HIPAA violation is serious. People don't realize that your medical billing is covered under HIPAA. And there's, in the video, I go over all the things that are actually covered under HIPAA. And your medical billing is one of the main things that they use to sell, to make money illegally. And then they put that stuff on your credit report and ruin you without just cause, because they shouldn't even have your stuff. So when you call them and you tell them, when you read that letter, you'll know what to say. Okay? And when you call and talk to them and tell them what they need to hear, most of the time they go sit down. They don't even, no one to my knowledge that have used this medical dispute, this HIPAA dispute letter, has ever been to court on anything. Just done. They don't even show up. They don't call you back or nothing, just done. And the letter's $20. You can't find that any place except here. So you guys subscribe down below and click the bell, so when these deals come up and it's time for school to start, you will be ready. Because if you're late, you're gonna be on the line over there running. Okay, I'm blowing the whistle in your face first. And now you gotta go run. Okay, let me straighten up. So this medical debt letter is pretty serious, and it's a great way to rebuild your credit score yourself and make the attorneys straighten it up, because they're the ones that trashed it. So now you can make them straighten it up. Organoderma, so derma. So you're trying to get your property tax handled. What state are you from? Have you seen our property tax package? Have you seen any of our videos on here about the issue? I'm assuming you have, since you're here tonight. And I'm going to assume that you subscribed, although I don't remember seeing your name. I cannot talk to you if you haven't subscribed. Okay, I'm kidding. You should subscribe if you have not subscribed, or I might have to make you go run. I'm gonna blow the whistle. So we have a pretty good package for property tax, elimination of property tax. I'll leave a link. Let me make a note. I'll leave a link to the product page for that down below. And also I'll leave a link to my website. My website's at winincourtnow.com. You guys can go to my website and take a look at the packages that we have. Now, when you go to my website, right underneath the letters at the very top of the page to the left-hand side is a link showing my online course. And you can click on that and go over to the online course and check it out too. The online course is on sale half price at $1,200. And in that online course, you'll get everything that you need. And I added something to it last week. And what I added to it was, I added the lawsuit package and an additional lecture on how to sue your ex-attorney for legal malpractice. And the way I have that set up, so whenever, the attorneys are the ones that structured this legal system that we have to navigate through, and it's not structured to help us. So what you guys have to remember is the attorneys are the one that structured this, and it's not structured fair. So to prove legal malpractice, a lot of people have to die. And if people didn't die, it's almost impossible to prove legal malpractice. So what I've done is we're going in for a breach of contract to get our attorney fees back. And that's a little bit different program. It's not the $5 million to $5.5 million, but if you get your attorney fees back, at least you can pay for this course. And you'll have some left over if you get in the course while it's still a half price at $1,200. So that's the way that is. Now, I'm also going to add an additional chapter to it in the next day or two, and that additional chapter is going to cover how to structure the legal documents, how to set them up, how to write them up from scratch. You're basically going to learn how to do what I've been doing. And this is going to be very valuable for property owners or anybody that, that's renting or has to deal with that, because, like right now, people are losing their jobs left and right. So if you own rental properties and you're having trouble with your tenants, if your tenants are having trouble paying, then you might want to consider this option to be able to protect your properties from the foreclosure landslide that's going to be coming down pretty soon. So that's something that you guys want to think about. And if the online course is is a little bit out of your budget, then we have the lawsuit packages on the website. And those lawsuit packages are what people have been using for the last year and several months. And we have very good success rate. Our goal is help you stay in your home. Our goal is to teach you how to do what you got to do to stay in your house. And one of the things, I talked to a lady today, and she was, sometimes people get upset with me if I don't take the time to listen to their whole story. And you got to understand that what we do is nothing about what they're saying you did or didn't do. We're going to be doing something totally different. And that's why it's important and you can't connect the two, because one is stinky and one is not. And the stinky part, the conventional foreclosure defense, will stink up everything over here. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where there's arguing, because the way their system is structured, when the arguing's done, the judge gets to help them. And that's pretty much the way it is. So we want to go in and with stuff they don't want to argue about. And we want to go in with stuff the judge is not wanting to rule on, because the judge does not want his or her name connected to anything that becomes case law that's going to help people kick the bank's butt. The judge ain't trying to do that. The judge will get in trouble if they do that, because if they do that, then they'll get slammed and they won't get their free houses or their campaign contributions or their money on the table, whatever it is they're getting, because they're getting something for throwing people on the bus like they're doing. So you guys need to keep that in mind. So if you guys are struggling with medical debt collections or credit card collections or any kind of debt collection, you let me know. I have a package for all that. I just don't have all that stuff posted on the website yet. And I've been focusing on the foreclosures and property tax issues. So I haven't had a lot of time to put those things on, but I have them. So if you guys are in court and they're trying to stick their hand in your bank account, just send me a message. My email address is winincourts and the number 1 @gmail.com. That's winincourts with an S, COURTS, the number 1 @gmail.com. So you guys can reach me there anytime. I'm also in the Foreclosure Rescue Facebook page. That's where I spend most of the day. And that's where I like people to communicate with me. If they have questions about the lawsuit packages, it's easier to communicate with me on the Facebook page than for me to stop everything that I'm doing on the internet and go grab the phone. So I will grab it though, but if you're calling to ask me a question, it'll be a lot easier to ask me the question in a private message or tag me in the group. And it works out great to be tagged in a group, because then other people can see what the answer is. So if other people have, the same question, they can see the answer. So the idea is, so I'm not answering the same question over and over. That's in Guy's perfect world. I'm not sure where that world is, but someday I hope to be in it. So we got 7 people. Who else is watching here tonight? You guys got any questions for me? Not going to be real long tonight because it's getting late and I need to go get me a glass of wine. Water. I need to get me a glass of water. So if you guys are interested in the Hipaa, if you guys are interested in the Hipaa dispute letter, I'll put a link to it down below. And the last video that I made outlines it. Except the video, when I was showing it, I was actually showing the front page of the product page from my website, and my Zoom share went blank, and I don't know what happened, but I just kept going. Everything else was going on a live stream. You know how it is on live stream. It's there and everybody already seen it. So I just continued with the video. So it shows the Zoom default page on there or something instead of the share. But the information that I provided is still, you can still hear and understand it. And it's priceless, actually more important than seeing the video, than seeing the document that I was trying to show. So I'm not sure what happened, if my internet went out for a second or what, but I still was able to complete the video, and that was the most important thing. So looks like someone sent me a message on, okay, someone sent me a message on Facebook. And I got a couple of likes on my HIPAA violation document. So I think that's going to be all for tonight. I can't try to keep it down at 30 minutes. If you guys have some other things you'd like me to talk about, make sure you leave them in the comment section down below, and make sure that what you're asking me are things on the non-conventional side of things, because I don't spend a whole lot of time talking about the conventional side or talking about your strategies and what you were doing already. I don't even want to know, because we're going to be doing something totally different. And it's been really a challenge for me to get people to understand that. So many people think that I need to know everything because their case is special. Like, no, the way we do things, if we're addressing the violations, the federal law violations and the civil rights, if we're addressing the violations, they're the same for everybody. They are the same for everybody. And we move that stuff in federal court. And now I can help everybody in all different states. So remember, we don't think outside the box. We don't operate with a box. The attorneys aren't operating with a box, and neither is the judge. They're not following no rules. So we're not going to be following them either over here. We're going to be rolling on our own. And they got a problem with it, they can have the judge address it. So what is tonight is Monday. I'll be back on here Saturday. Wednesday, I'll be doing a live feed from Hamilton Radio in New Jersey with Gene. And that's, we'll be doing that at 1 o'clock Central Time. And we're going to be talking about the magistrate judge and the fact that the magistrate judge does not have consent. We're going to be talking about a few of the tricks that the court does to throw you under the bus, and most people have no idea about it. So you might want to make sure that if you're in court fighting to save your house, you might want to make sure that you listen to that broadcast on Wednesday at 1 o'clock Central Time on Hamilton Radio. And I'll leave a link for that down below also. So thank you guys, and good night. We'll see you guys after the wine, after I get water.